Hello everybody, welcome to True Fan Forum. In this video I want to talk a little bit about the recently released Justice League movie. And first off, let me say that I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. Now I know in the theaters it had an alright opening weekend. I believe the number was 96 million, which is to me anyway is a good number. Probably not as high as the studio was hoping for or DC Comics was hoping for, and it's certainly nothing record-shattering when it comes to comic book movies. But to me, for opening weekend, 96 million is a pretty decent number. And I know also that some of the reviews have been less than kind, and that's why I say, for my personal taste and my personal opinion, I enjoyed it. I thought the action was great, CG was cool, I loved the characters. Speaking of characters, the one thing I loved about Justice League was that it was not just another Batman and Superman movie. Now, don't get me wrong; those are cool characters. They're iconic. Some of the movies in the past have been really, really great, but there's also been just way too many of Batman and Superman in the movies to a point where just, to me anyway, it gets to a point of, oh, not another Batman movie, not another Superman movie. Come on, DC, what else you got? And really, that's my biggest complaint about DC is that while they have this great roster of characters, some of which are very iconic in their own right, it seemed like they really focused on Batman and Superman when it comes to movies. Now, it's understandable, like I said, they're very iconic, they're very famous, but it just gets dull and repetitive. So I liked about Justice League that it gave us new characters, it gave us new potential for other movies going forward. So it's not just Batman and Superman. Also, let me say that in terms of villains, I really like Steppenwolf in this movie for two reasons. First off, he provides a really great challenge for the team and a really great crisis for them to handle in their first sort of adventure. And I say that because when you think of it, alone, each of the Justice League members is pretty formidable in their own way. Batman, Superman, they're all really great characters, really tough. So, in order for them to bring them together and create a challenge, you need a top tier villain. You need someone who is going to, give them a challenge, give them a real fight. And Steppenwolf did that really well. He and his army of parademons really challenged the characters and really had to make them, struggle and fight, which really make their victory at the end. Oh, and no, it's not a spoiler. Come on, we know they're going to win. The heroes in this kind of movie are going to win. So this is not a spoiler. But anyway, it made their victory more meaningful because they had to work for it. Now, the second reason I like Steppenwolf in this movie because he opens the door for more of the new gods and the fourth world and really helps give a glimpse and, like I said, open the door for a really great facet of the DC universe, which I really, really hope they explore again in future movies. I would love to see Darkseid or Orion or Mr. Miracle. Actually, done right, a Mr. Miracle movie would be really awesome. Anyway, I really want to see them in future movies because that's a really great aspect of the DC universe. Probably some of Jack Kirby's greatest works. So again, I'm excited for Steppenwolf to be in Justice League because he provides a glimpse and opportunity to explore the new gods. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I really can't go into it right now in this video because it'd be really long. But the new gods in the fourth world are just awesome characters. As I said, some of Jack Kirby's greatest work, and that's saying a lot for Jack Kirby, who is an iconic artist and comic creator. So again, love Steppenwolf in the movie. I have to say though that one of my favorite characters in the entire movie was the Flash. I love what Ezra Miller did with that character because well, first off, he was funny. Oh, he was so funny, and he brought a great youthful exuberance and wonder to the movie, which I thought was a great contrast to some of the more experienced and jaded characters like Batman and Wonder Woman. So I loved seeing him as sort of, the rookie of the team. He showed potential, but he wasn't nearly as polished and battle ready as, some of the other characters. In fact, he even says at one point in the movie, I've never really been to battle before. I just sort of push people and run away. Which in itself is just a great line. I probably ruined it, but trust me, when he says it, it was great. So again, I love the Flash in this movie because he provided comedy and he provided exuberance and a youthful aspect that really worked well, and really did a great contrast with some of the other characters. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of the other characters had their moments to shine and brought a little bit of comedy to the movie, which I thought was great. And like I said, they really did get a chance to shine in this movie in little ways. Maybe, a great action sequence or a great line or something. Anyway, they all did really well. I don't think there was a weak character in the movie, which is saying something for this kind of movie, since there are so many characters, it would be pretty easy to focus on one and ignore the others. But no, I think this was pretty balanced in terms of screen time and development between all of the characters, not just, Wonder Woman or Batman or Superman or whatever, because they've already had their movies. So again, I like that. One thing I have to say though is the general, look of the movie, because it really had that sort of Zack Snyder sort of dark, gritty aspect, which I'm kind of conflicted about, because now some points that kind of grittiness and darkness can work really well in a movie, especially if you're doing, say, a Batman movie or something else of that nature. But other times it could fail because because it really doesn't, kind of clashes with the character. A good example would be The Flash. Now, for me, if you're going to make a Flash movie, which I hope they do, the dark, gritty aspect, that tone, really doesn't work well with the character, especially the way he's established in Justice League as the more youthful, more, funny character. So I would hope that in his movie, it'd be a bit lighter, a bit brighter, something that matches his character. Again, and that's what it really comes down to. The tone of the movie should fit the tone of the character. Again, dark and gritty works well for Batman, and even worked well for Wonder Woman, especially when she left Themyscira, Paradise Island, and entered the rest of the world, which is the middle of World War II. So dark and gritty fits, no, sorry, not World War II, World War I, pardon me. So again, dark and gritty works great in that instance. May not work well in every instance, and honestly, sometimes that tone becomes a bit depressing and just like, oh, enough. Why must, this is not fun. I want to have fun. So I really hope that in future DC movies, they really try to make a tone that matches the character and really gives the movies a different feel, so they don't really become formulaic or cookie cutter, which is kind of seems to be the trend right now. Hopefully they change it. Zack Snyder, he's good. He does make good movies, but again, the way he makes movies may not always work in every instance and for every character. So that's what I have to say about the Zack Snyder tone. It can work, but it also cannot work, and sometimes it can make the movie feel really, really depressing, which for a comic book movie is not good. But anyway, it was not the case in Justice League. In Justice League, I felt the tone worked, and it was a bit lighter than other instances. And again, it was fun. So I really hope they keep it up. And yeah, it's really what I do hope. I really do hope that they make more movies. They've already established the characters, so I want to see more. I would love to see an Aquaman movie and a Flash movie, Cyborg. They laid the groundwork for, I think, more movies in the future. So I think in this attempt to sort of get into the whole shared cinematic universe, it was a pretty good attempt. And let's face it, folks, they got a lot of catch up to do with Marvel because Marvel has been not only has Marvel been doing this sort of shared cinematic universe longer, they've pretty much got it down really well to where it's just where it's just a wonderful thing because while the movies are connected, each movie has its own feel and it's allowed to be its own movie. So again, so hopefully DC does well, and I'm looking forward to other DC movies. Again, just while I understand that maybe doing the Zack Snyder tone helps create overall feel of the movie or for movies, and kind of really shows that they're connected, it can also backfire on them. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. So about that. Anyway, well, folks, to basically sum everything up, Justice League to this humble viewer was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I would love to see more in the future. I really have high hopes for Justice League 2, whenever that may come about, if it ever comes about. So again, good job, DC. You entertained this comic book geek, and I really, really hope it does well. So on this weekend, if you're interested in a movie, see Justice League. You might have fun. I certainly did. So I guess that's it, folks. That's all I've got to say about Justice League. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment, but please be civil in your comments. And I'll see you next time.